everybody. Welcome back to the Smarketing CONNECT podcast. I am your host and the founder and CEO of Smarketing CONNECT, Tom Libby. I have my friend Mike Connell here with us today. And most times, like I do, I'm not going to really do too much to introduce Mike. I'll let him do that for himself. So, Mike, we'll just jump right in here and give you a couple of seconds. So, in a few sentences, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thanks for having me, Tom. My name is Mike Connell, and I am a video producer. My video business name is KC Visuals Unlimited. I'm based in Quincy, Massachusetts. I help companies and professionals tell their story online using video.
So, when you say you help companies, is there a specific type of company, size company? Is there does anybody fall into like a perfect match for you, or what does that look like for you?
Well, I've always been open to working with pretty much anybody because video is unique enough that everyone wants to use it in their communication efforts, be it marketing, training, uh, and so forth. So I've never really tried to narrow things down to a niche. Uh, I've worked with construction companies. I've worked with Amazon. I've worked with, universities like Tufts and Bentley. And, so it goes from large to small. I do love helping small business owners. I'm doing a little bit, maybe concentration on dentistry because there's a lot of them out there, and they're small business owners as well as being doctors. Whereas, when you go to your physician, they're usually in a physician's group, so they don't have to do the marketing and the business building side. But dentists, for the most part, usually have to. So.
Awesome. So then the actual size of the company is more relative to what they use video for versus whether they do or do not use video and whether you would or would not work with them. Am I understanding that
Right. I
correctly?
mean, if they're a really large company, most often they have an internal video department that's producing videos. It saves the company money as opposed to going to outside vendors. However, occasionally I had one client that I work with occasionally. He works at Net Scout, which is a pretty good sized company up in Westford, and well, Littleton maybe Littleton, I guess, and. He likes to sometimes go outside of the internal video department. Uh, they're busy. He can't get the dates he wants, that kind of thing. And so he'll call me up and say, "I need this video done, and they can't do it. Can you get up here in the next few days and help me out?" And I'm always happy to do that. So, uh, but my favorite line to say is, "If they can write a check, I'm happy to work with them." So.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So one of the things here at Smarketing Connect that we really we do, and I understand that you will work with small, or large company. It doesn't really matter for you, but we tend to focus a little bit more on the smaller companies. From your perspective and your experience, do you find that there's like a must-have tool out there, like that every small business owner should have this one particular tool at their disposal? If you could tell us what that is and why you think that, I'd love to hear it.
Well, if they're doing videos themselves, then they should have a good phone, like an iPhone or a higher level Samsung or whatever it may be. But something that quality video. But it doesn't just start there. You really need to take care of some few simple setup activities to make sure you're doing it the right way. And the microphone is a good thing to have if you're doing your own videos. There are microphones you can get for your phone. So that's what I would say is if you're going to shoot videos yourself and use your phone, get a microphone that'll plug into your phone. So you might need to get with a specific type connector to go to your phone. So
Got it. Yeah, I've always heard, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but I've always heard that like one of the primary reasons that people get annoyed with video is poor audio. Like that poor audio is
yeah,
that's one of the primary.
it's gotten better over time. People learn through trial and error. Early on, people were out on the streets. I'm in the streets of Boston, and you can't hear a word because there's traffic noise and all that kind of crap going on. And so it was a waste of time when they get back and look at their video and say,
Got
Can't use it. A microphone, dedicated microphone would help with that. But I tell people try to avoid noisy areas unless you absolutely have to go to this location. Try to shoot it in a quiet spot so you're not distracted and you're not, blowing your voice away with, distracting noises outside or inside. Like your cleaner. You don't want the vacuum cleaner going on right behind you while you're trying to do your podcast. It doesn't help the sound situation. But yeah, sound can be annoying because it's hard enough. I'm 29 years old now, so occasionally I have trouble hearing what people are saying. And on TV, I'll turn on the subtitles just to be sure I'm getting the message. Especially if there's accents involved, I'll turn it on. So I can get exactly what people are saying. And that tool's available online. You have the captions available, you know, people can use. So it certainly helps when the audio isn't as great or if your voice is hard to understand, so.
Sure. Especially those of us are from the Boston area. We have that Boston accent that people say they can't understand. But
No, no
I don't really
way. We
have it all
park
that
our
much.
cars. Doesn't everybody park their cars?
Uh, so Mike, what about so let's stay more geared toward the small business owners again, knowing that you work with multi-level or layers or size companies. From a small business owner perspective, what types of problems do they feel like you solve for them? Like what are they typically engaging with you because they can't they found that they've tried video and they couldn't do X, or they want video but they don't have Y, or whatever that is. So what are some of the problems or challenges that you solve for smaller companies?
Well, we talked about a few of them. People, uh, their videos don't look good. They don't frame it properly. They don't have good quality sound. They don't know what to say, and also finding the time to do the videos. So uh, I help them with getting them to be able to do the simple things like identify who is it you want to talk to. You don't deliver a message to just anybody if you're selling, different types of products or services. So you want to, identify the audience that you're looking to talk to. And then, if you have that audience figured out, then what makes them tick? How do you get them to listen to you? How do you get them to take the next step? If you can even go further and figure out what their problems are, what their pain is, that you can solve, that you have, a way of solving their problem, that'll catch interest right away. That, oh, he can fix that problem for me. That's awesome. I've been trying to get rid of this headache for years. And so I take the pressure off a little bit on people looking to do the videos and help them do that stuff and and get your message down. You don't want to just talk off the cuff. Some people still do. They say, oh, I can just do it, but it's best to, if not write out a script, at least have bullet points or interview questions designed to elicit the response we need to deliver that message. So I tell people, identify your audience, solve a problem for them, tell them how you can solve it for them, and call them to action. Tell them you want to share more information with them or have them call you, email you, opt in on a landing page, whatever it may be. But those things are pretty essential to, your simple online videos. You gotta grab their attention and then show them how you can help.
Agreed. I couldn't actually couldn't agree more. Okay, so the next question really revolves around your advice to them in outside of your your own gig, right? So we're always asking sales and marketing consultants if you were advising a small business owner on hiring or engaging with a sales and or marketing consulting or agency, what kind of advice would you give them, or what would you tell them to look for from that agency if they were looking to bring on a new consultant or a new uh, agency? What are some of the pieces of advice that you would tell a small business owner to
Well, the first off, you see if they've worked with, you know, businesses like yours. Have they, dealt with the same customer base that you're dealing with? Have they marketed to them before? And if so, what kind of results did you see? I mean, results, everyone wants results. So you ask, hey, what did you do for somebody and how well did it work? And, I would say, other things to look for is their online presence. Have you ever seen any of their stuff online? Are they active? Are they noticeable? That kind of thing. Uh, but it's hard to say if it. I guess you have to also go with your gut instinct. If somebody's making you feel uncomfortable or nervous or whatever, then that's probably a telltale sign to, step back and think about things a little bit, more and not answer right away. The worst answer for the sales guy is, "I'll get back to you." That kind of. But sometimes, as the business owner being solicited, that's what you got to do. Or if
Yeah.
they say, "I need a yes or no," okay, well then it's no right now. It might change, but right now it's no. You know?
Yeah, I always caution people on the on being judgmental about, like, so for example, like if by chance you're looking for social media help and you go to a social media expert and then you go to their social media and it's terrible and you make a quick snap judgment that says like, oh well, if they can't take care of their own social media, how are they going to take care of mine? But you never ask them for examples of other clients
But
that
that's like a stereotype, isn't it? Nobody's good doing their own work for themselves.
yeah,
Like plumbers, they have the worst leaks
yeah.
at their home than anybody, and carpenters, every piece of furniture needs to be fixed, and you know,
But
but
but but like, so I guess to my point though, but if they give you a list of clients that they have done social media for, and then you go check out those social media presences and they look awesome, then you're making sure, just make sure you're judging what you really want to judge, and you're not judging.
right, yeah, you want to see examples,
Yeah,
especially current examples,
right.
of what you're doing and how it's helping, and you know, I have one guy that was he was out of the country looking to do lead generation and that stuff for me, and I really wasn't interested, but I talked to him and I said, "Can you give me a couple of clients that I can contact for references?" "Oh no, we don't do that." And I'm like, "Why would you not do that?" If you have
Yeah,
good, happy clients, why wouldn't you ask them for references?
exactly, exactly. All right. So this question is probably my favorite question, but it has nothing to do with business because this we get a little we at times get a little goofy here on the Smarketing CONNECT podcast.
Well, you're a fun guy. That's why we like coming to the weekly meetings. It's a fun time.
So I
Those
like
of you out there that are getting the emails and not coming to the meetings, come to the meetings. They're awesome.
an endorsement. Thank you. No, but we like to be a little goofy here. We like to ask a question that has nothing to do with anything. But it's also a little fun to just get to know people on a little bit different kind of layer. So the question is, Mike Connell, I'm going to ask you, if you could be a superhero, any superhero you want, tell us which one you would choose to be and why.
I've always been a Batman fan. I love Batman. I'd be Batman
Why is that? Tell us why. Why Batman?
because he's dark and mysterious and he gets the good-looking girls. Look, that's the truth. He does, even with that mask on. I'd probably do better with a mask on with the ladies.
Cheapers. Okay. All right. So turning the corner here, we're coming to the end of the podcast segment here. One thing we love to do is to kind of keep this forward motion of endorsements and endorsing each other. So our last question on the podcast here, Mike, is we like to pay it forward. Is there a sales and marketing consultant out there that either A, you've worked with in the past, or B, you've heard, you've referred somebody to them and have done a really nice job? Is there somebody, and we'll tag them, by the way, so they'll get tagged in this podcast too, so they know that you had mentioned that they were a good sales and marketing consultant. Is there anybody that you'd like to give the shout out to, and that we can say, or someone that you think would be a good interview on the podcast too? That could be the third version of it.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of the people that are within your community, the Smarketing community, so that we, keep things in-house, helping people. Uh, you know, um, I can't say I've actually worked professionally with, but in the meetings, I find Ed McDonough to be great. I love, listening to what he has to say, uh, Mark, the video guy that does interviews, and uh, he's got his business down, and he's a pretty sharp guy and pretty helpful. So those are guys that I look to. Uh, and then if I were to get a headshot, I would certainly go to Barry.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Awesome. Well, Mike, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you having you here on the podcast. Any last real quick words that we before I sign off here?
Well, I just say, business is what you make of it, what you put into it, your effort. Let's all, go for it. And, take the risks, take the steps that you need to take to bring your business up this year. If you just keep hemming and hawing and pausing and waiting, the things won't happen for you. So if you're looking to make things happen, take a risk and take some steps forward, and do some things, especially in your marketing, because that's how your business will grow. And our meeting is a great place to come and meet great marketing people. So even if you're not in the marketing realm, coming to one of the Smarketing meetings could be helpful to your business.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you everybody for listening, and we'll sign off. So thank you everybody, and keep selling.